Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today we are going to discuss topic classification of fruits. So before starting the classification of food, first of all we have to know that what is this fruits are. Okay. So fruits are basically what they are derived from the ripe ovary. Okay, ripe ovary or any floral part of the fruits. Okay, so basically the fruits are what they are derived from the ripe ovary, basically ripe ovary, and some fruits also derived from the flora part of the plant, flora part of the plant. So depend upon this, these fruits are classified, or you can say that this fruits are also called true fruits or false fruit. True fruits or false fruits. The fruits which are derived from the ripe ovary are called true fruits, and the fruits which are derived from the other part of the plant, like your flora part, then this will be considered as a false fruit. Now, it is not easy to define a fruit. Like if we talk in a common man language, then fruit are simply means that sweet, juicy or pulpy colored aromatic structure that include seeds. If we ask to a common man that what is the fruit in your language, then they said that fruits are a sweet thing, or you can say that maybe this someone said the fruits are juicy, fruits are pulpy, and many seeds are present in a fruit. So in a common language, fruits are this. But if we talk in a scientific way, or if we talk in a biological way, then fruits are what they are derived from a ripe ovary or flora part of the ovary. Now part of the fruit. See, the outer covering of the fruit are what they are a apical, the outer screen. See, in the diagram it is clear that this part is what they are outer covering, and they are what they are apical. Now after apical, the mesocarp are present, and the inner part are what they are endocarp. This mesocarp are fleshy, and this mesocarp are edible in nature. See, we remove the apical because it is the outer screen and it will protect the fruit from the environment. Protect the fruits from the environment. Now, after that, endocarp is present. It is the inner layer of the fruit. Now, after that, embryo are present. They are a baby plant, like your seed. And in embryo, there is an endosperm which reserves the food, and the embryo which are enclosed in a body. This body is called a seed coat. Okay. And embryo, endosperm and the seed coat are considered as a seed. Okay. Now, see, this is what? This is your apical. Now, inside the apical, mesocarp are present, which are edible part. Inside the mesocarp, endocarp are present, which are innermost layer of the fruit. And inside the endocarp, there is a seed are present, and seed are considered as a seeds are made up of three things: embryo, that is a baby plant, and endosperm which reserve the food, and seed pod. Okay, now epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp considered as a pericarp. Now see, this is your fruit, some fruit, And this is your tomato. We all know that tomato is what? Tomato is also a fruit. It is not a vegetable, it is a fruit. See, this is your exocarp, outermost layer, then mesocarp, fleshy part, then endocarp, which is inside. Now, this structure is considered as a placenta. Okay. See, this structure is considered as a placenta, and the outer covering of the placenta is considered as a funiculus. And this is what? This is a seed present in the mesocarp. Okay. Some seed we eat, like in case of tomato, and some seed we are not eat, like in case of mango. The first diagram is of the mango and the second diagram is of the tomato. This is the diagram of mango. Okay. Now come to the next slide. Classification of the fruits. Basically, fruits are classified into three parts. First one is your true fruits, then false fruits, then parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruits. Okay, the true fruits, we all know that it is the fruit which are ripe by a mature ovary, or you can say that the true fruit is also called a U crop. It is also called a U crop. It is what? It is a mature and ripe ovary developed after a fertilization. Okay, so basically it is developed when the fertilization is occur, and it is developed from the ripe ovary. Now, false fruit is also considered as a pseudocarp. Okay, this false fruit is also called what? They are also called pseudocarp. Carp means fruits, means that carp means that pseudocarps means false fruits. Okay, it is derived from the flora part, and this flora part except the ovary. Flora part are considered that except the ovary, all the part are considered as a flora part. Example, pedicle in cashew nut, thalamus in apple. See, apple is also considered as a false food. False fruit, because it is derived from the thalamus part of the plant, and cashew nut is derived from the peduncle part of the plant. Pear, gourd, fruit and pineapple are also considered as a false fruit because it is derived from the entire inflorescence. Now, false fruits are also called accessory fruits or spurious fruit. See, this mango and maize and grape are the example of the true fruits because they are derived from the ripe ovary. Now the third one is parthenocarpic fruit. These parthenocarpic fruits are the seedless plant. Okay. See, the true fruits have seeds and the false fruits also have a seeds. Okay. The difference between the true fruits and the false fruit is that they are developed from the different part. True fruits are developed from the ripe ovary and the false fruit are developed from the flora part. But this parthenocarpic, okay, and fertilizations are occur in both. Fertilization are occur in both true plants or true fruits or false fruits. But in case of parthenocarpic fruits, the fertilizations does not occur and they are seedless fruits like your bananas. Okay, in bananas seeds are absent. Nowadays many seedless grapes, oranges and watermelons are being developed by a horticulturist. See, these horticulturists, what they do, they prepare a seedless oranges, grapes, and your watermelon. They are what? They are not a parthenocarpic fruits. They are considered as a true fruits. But this with the help of this different horticulturist method, the horticultural method, they develop a seedless watermelon, and grapes and oranges. And now they are considered as a parthenocarpic. Pomology is a branch of horticulture that deal with the study of fruits and their cultivation. This pomology is what? Pomology is the branch of horticulture which deal with the study of fruits and their cultivation. They have the knowledge about the food and how they cultivate and what is the basic classification, and all these are come under the pomology. Okay. See, this term will very important because this type of terms will be asked in your MCQs. Now come to the next slide. Morphology of a typical fruit. Now fruit are consist of pericarp and seeds. Okay. We all know that there are two parts of the fruits. One is your pericarp and one is your seeds. Pericarp consists epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Okay, they are made up of three layers. And seeds are made up of embryo, endosperm and seed coat. Okay. Seeds are fertilized and ripe ovules. These seeds, okay, the seeds which consist endosperm, embryo and seed coat, they are fertilized and ripe ovules. The pericarp develop from the ovary wall. Okay, this pericarp is always developed from where? From the wall of the ovary. Okay, and maybe dry or fleshy. When fleshy, pericarp is differentiated into outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and inner endocarp. Sometimes this pericarp are fleshy and sometimes it is dry. When it is fleshy, then it will be differentiated into three different parts. The outer layer will be a epicarp and the middle which layer are edible are called mesocarp and the innermost layer is called a endocarp. Now the detail of the morphology will be discussed in the next lecture. Now come to the main part, that is your classification of fruits. These fruits are classified into a three main parts. One part will be a simple fruit, then aggregate fruit. This aggregate fruit are also called a Itario fruits. Okay, they are also called the Itario fruits. And the third one is your composite fruit. Okay, this is what? This is your composite fruit. And this composite fruits are also called a multiple fruit. Okay, now simple fruits are again divided into two parts. First one is your dry and another one is your succulent. Succulent, succulent. Now this dry fruits are again divided into dehiscent capsular, in dehiscent capsular and zygocarpic splitting. This is what? This is your splitting. Okay, this is what? This is your splitting. Now dehiscent capsular are divided into legume or pod, follicle, silicuous and capsule. And this indehiscent achenyl are also divided into achene, caropsis, sapsilla, nut and samara. Now zygocarpic are again divided into lomentum, Pseumocarp, Regma, Carcillus and double Samara. And succulent are divided into drop, papo, Hesperadium, Pate, Balusta and Amphiscus. Aggregate fruits are divided into a Itario a trio of achenes, a trio of drops, a trio of berries. And composite are two types. One is your cycnos and other one is sorosis. So we are going to discuss in detail each and every part. If you have any query uh, related to these slide, like what is the fruit, what is the morphology of the fruit, what is the different part of the fruit, and what is the flow chart for the classification of the fruit, then you will ask in a comment box, and you can also ask in our helpline number which are mentioned in your slide. So come to the next slide. Simple fruit. Now simple fruit are what they are developed from a single ovary. Okay, they are called simple fruit because they are developed from a single ovary. And when they are developed from a single ovary, then they have only one seed. Okay, ovary of a single flower. The ovary may belong to a monocarpally simple gynoecium or to a polycarpally syncarpous gynoeciums. There are two categories of simple fruits. One is your dry and one is your fleshy. Now the main point is what? The simple fruits are simply, they are derived from a single ovary of a single flower. Now maybe these ovaries are belong from a monocarpally simple gynoecium, or sometimes they are belong from a polycarpally cyanocarpous gynoeciums. Okay. Now after that, these simple fruits are of two types. One is your dry and another one is your fleshy. Now see, the first diagram will be the first picture showing the simple fruits. Okay. The second pictures are shown aggregate fruits. And the third one is about the multiple fruit, or it is also called a composite fruit. Okay. So pineapple are what? Pineapple are a composite fruits. Berries are what? Sorry, strawberries are what? They are what? They are a aggregate fruit. And your peas, your oranges, this is called what? They are simple fruits. Now come to the next slide. Dry fruits, and the second one is your fleshy fruits. Dry fruits, simply it is dry, so that's why it is not a fleshy, and their pericarps are not divided into three layers. When the pericarps are divided, when they are fleshy in nature, but in dry fruits they are not divided into three layers, that is your exocarp, mesocarp or endocarp. Here only a one layer, or that is your pericarp, and this is called a fruit wall. Okay, they are what? They are a avocado. Avocado. Okay. Now come to the next, that is your succulent fruit or a fleshy fruit. Now they are fleshy, that's why their pericarp are divided into three layers, that is epicarp, mesocarp and a endocarp. And this mesocarp are fleshy or fibrous in nature, and these fruit are inhabitants and seeds are liberated after the decay of the flesh. Okay. Now this mesocarp are the edible part of the fruit. After that, come to the next slide. Dry fruits. Dry fruits are again divided into three. One is your dehiscent fruit, that is also called a capsular fruit. Indehiscent fruit, which is also called a acinal fruits, and the psychocarpic fruits, which are also called the splitting fruits. Now, dehiscent fruits are those fruits which are characterized of these fruit in that pericarp rupture after the ripenings and seeds are disseminated. When they are ripe, their pericarps are ruptured and their seeds are disseminated. Now, indehiscent are those fruits whose pericarp does not rupture during the ripening and their seeds remain inside the fruit. This is the difference between the dehiscent fruits and the indehiscent. In dehiscent fruit, when the ripening of the fruit takes place, their pericarp rupture, due to which the seeds come out from the fruit. But in dehiscent fruit, when ripening occurs, their pericarp does not rupture. That's why seeds always remain inside the fruit. Now, psychocarpic fruits or splitting fruits are those fruits fall in between the above mentioned two category. Here the fruits are ripening, divided into one seeded segment or a pericarp, but the pericarp remain unruptured. Here what happened? They come both the categories. Okay, when ripening occurs, these seed segments or but here the fruits on ripening divided into seed segment or a pericarp. Okay, when they are divided, but at that time pericarp does not ruptured. Now come to the next slide. Dehiscent fruit or a capsular fruit. Now, depending upon the dehiscent, these fruits can be divided into following group. Now, these dehiscent fruits are divided into legume or pod or a follicle. Now, legumes are derived from a superior. See, you have to learn these words where these fruits are derived. So these uh, sorry, these legumes or a pod are derived from a superior monocarpally unilocular ovary. Now when the maturity is occur, these fruit are dehiscent along both the suture, that is your ventral as well as dorsal. See, two types of sutures are present. One is your ventral and one is your dorsal. And it is categorized as a family leguminous, like your peas and gram. The second one is your follicle. It is very similar to the legume, but when dehiscent occur only along the ventral suture. In legume, dehiscent occur in both the suture, that is your ventral and the dorsal. But in follicle, the dehiscence occur only in a ventral suture, like your larkspur, calostropsis, and micaelia. Okay, so these are the example of the follicle. Now come to the next slide. Dehiscent fruit. Another part, siloca. Siloca is derived from a bicarpally cynocarpus superior ovary. Again, I am say same thing, that is, it is very important to see that where these fruits are derived, because in your MCQs it is asked like that. Suppose that there is a fruit which are derived from a bicarpally cynocarpus superior ovary and they have a unilocular. Now name that fruit. So you have to know about it. Okay. So Celokia developed from the bicarpally cynocarpus superior ovary and they are unilocular in nature. But they become bilocular due to false septum carpeplum. There is a false septum occur in that fruit, and when they occur, then their unilocular nature converted into a bilocular nature. It is an elongated fruit in which dehiscence occur along both the suture from the base to apex, and the seed attached to the rectum get exposed like your mustard. Okay. The next one is your silicula. Silicula is a short flated silicula. It is called silicula and it is almost broad as long. For example, Liberius amara and Capsula borsa pastoracis. Now, fifth one is your capsule. It is simple, dry, many seeded dehiscent fruit developed from a multicarpally cyanocarpus ovary. Now, on the basis of dehiscent capsule are of the following type: porosidol or a pisexis. Porosidol, the dehiscence occur through a pores, then it is called a poppy or porosidols. This is a now pyxis is a special name given to a capsule when the dehiscence is transferred so that the top come off as a lid, and if exposing a box of the seed, for example, corn, amarnath, us or char wood. Now, on the basis of dehiscence, now on the basis of dehiscence, uh, capsule are of the following type. One is your locular. They dehiscence occur by a longitudinal slide which open onto the locally. Example, ladyfinger, septical. The dehiscence line appear along the septa. Example, linseed, cotton. Then centrifuge, the tine broken part of the separate, exposing the seed attached to the central axis. Now come to the next slide. This is your indehiscent or acinal fruits. Now, acinal fruits are simple fruit, indehiscent, single-seeded, having a thin, dry, woody or a leathery pericarp. They are 5 types. One is your Achi and Caropsis. These acinin in which the pericarp of the fruit is free from the testa of the seeds. Their seeds are always attached to the pericarp only, and it develop from the superior monocarpally pistil having unilocular and uniovuled ovary. Okay. Now, Caropsis, it is similar to the acne except that in this case pericarp and testa are inseparably fused. Okay, in the first one they are attached. Who are attached? The testa and the seed in acne, but in Caropsis the testa and the pericarp are fused. Okay, as in a cereal, it is characterized future of a family Graminy, for example, wheat and maize. Now come to the next slide. Third one is your capsula. It is characterized feature of family composite. The fruit wall is free from testa, and a typical feature of the fruit is present of pappus having a crown of hair-like process. See, this is the hair-like process. This is their characterization. And they help them in a wind dispersal, and their foods are always developed from a bicarpary cyanocarpus interior ovary, and they have a single basis ovule. For example, Sonchus and a dandelion. Now, the next one is your Samara. Samara is developed from a monocarpellary pistil with a superior unilocular and a uniovuled ovary. Their pericarps are expected in form of wings. Okay, like your this. For example, holopistilla and ilum. They are the example of the Samara. See, in Samara, their pericarp is just like it shows just like a wings, and they are developed from a monocarpally pistil, and they have a superior unilocular and uniovuled ovary. Now, the last of indehiscent fruits are nut. Their pericarps are hard and leathery or woody. It may be developed from a simple or a compound pistil with a superior or inferior uniovuled ovary, like your curious, lychee, cashew nut, trapa. In this case, the lychee pericarp is hard and the leathery, and the edible part is aril, which is an outgrowth of the tester from the micropylar end, and it become a juicy in nature. See, this is your pericarp in case of the lychee, and they are very hard and leathery. Now the third one is your psychocarpic or a splitting fruits. These fruits may be considered as between the acinal fruits and the capsular. The fruits break up into a number of indecent single-seeded segments, and they are called a pericarp form when the seeds are liberated only. And when the pericarp get rooted, in some cases, one seed part of the fruits are dehiscents are called cocci. Now, psychocarmic fruits are again they have a 5 type. The first one is your lumentum. Lumentum fruits are constricted between the seed and usually break up into a segment, and they contain one or more than one type of seeds like mimosa, acacia arabica, and in case of radish, the fruits are Lumentococcus siliqua. Okay. The second one is your compound samara. Compound samara is that type of fruit which have two or more chambered fruit, and they are derived from a cyanocarpus. Okay, cyanocarpus ovary, and their pericarps are extended and it shows as a wings like structure. And when they are mature, their fruits are break up, and it gives single seeded pericarp like ilm or maple. Example, ilm or maple. They are compound samara. Now the third one is your seremocarp. Semerocarp are two-seeded fruits, and they are derived from a bicarpary cyanocarpus inferior bilocular and uniovuled ovary. See which type of ovary they are developed, which type of carpus they are developed, and how they are developed. On the basis of this, these fruits are divided. Okay, now it is typically fruits family called umbelli, um, umbellitari. The two pericarps is split, and when these two pericarps are split, their central axes are also split, and which they remain attached. Persistent style and cyclopodium are the present. For example, coriander. The example of this psychocarpic, ceremocarp are coriander. Okay, now caryolus. These fruits are again they are derived from a superior cyanocarpus pistil, multilocular with exile placenta. Their fruits are split into many pericarp. For example, Salvia oimum. Okay, regma. It is derived from a polycarpillary pistil which is split into a many cocci. Okay, now they are split into a many cocci as there are carpal. Rigma of castor break up into 3 cocci as it is derived from a tricarpally cyanocarpus pistil. Similarly, rigma of geranium break into a 5 cocci. See, it depends upon how much cocci they are, how much cocci they are break. If they are break into a 3 cocci, then it will be derived from a tricarpally cyanocarpus pistil. But when they are derived into a 5 cocci, then it is derived from a 5 carpus. Okay. The next one is your succulent or a fleshy fruit. These fruits are simple fruit with fleshy pericarp, and the simple are again divided into a three parts. One is your drop, pome, and a berries. Drop, the pericarp or a fruit wall is different to a thin epicarp. In drop, the pericarp are differentiated into a thin epicarp, which is the skin of the fruit, and the fleshy pericarp and stony, like seed-like structure present in the endocarp. Hence, it is called stone fruit. That's why this drop are also called stone fruit. Okay, why they are called as stone fruit? Because they have a stony, they have a stony endocarp. This is very important. Now, for example, mango, coconut, peach, almond, trap, etc. See, in mango, the mesocarp is juicy and edible. In coconut, mesocarp is fibrous and edible part is endocarp. See, if we talk about the mango, see, there is not always the uh, edible part is a mesocarp. In case of the mango, the edible part is a mesocarp because it is a fleshy and the juicy. But in case of coconut, the mesocarp is fibrous. Okay. But the edible part is what? They are endocarp. And in almond, epicarp and mesocarp get peeled off and only hard endocarp can be seen in the marketed fruits. The almond which we seen in the market, they are what? They are a endocarp. So the edible part is cotyledons. Okay. So there is a difference between the fruits, coconut and almond, and which part of the see in your competitive exam there will be asked that like that ki suppose which part of the fruit are edible, which part of the mango are edible, which part of the coconut are edible, which part of the almond are edible. So you have to know about this. Now pome, it is a single fleshy fruit, but they are false fruit as it is surrounded by a fleshy thalamus which is edible. For example, apple, pear and locust. Berries and Becca. Berries is a fleshy fruit in which there is no hard part except the seeds. Okay. If we see the case of the bananas and if we see the case of the guava, in both, sorry, not the banana. If we see the case of the guava, in this case there is no hard covering except the seed, and in this all the part of the fruit should be eaten. So berry is a fleshy fruit in which there is no hard part except the seed. Pericarp may be differentiated into a epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. One or other these layer may form pulp in which seeds are embedded, which generally get detached from the placenta. So that's why the all parts should be edible. Pericarp, mesocarp and the epicarp, mesocarp and the endocarp. The fruits derived from the superior ovary are called superior or true berries. Okay, like in case of brinjal, grape, tomato. False berries are derived from an inferior ovary, like thalamus and pericarp are fused in banana and guava. Now, in case of banana, epicarp and thalamus are peeled off. Okay, mesocarp and endocarp with embedded unripe and seed form the edible part. In case of date, epicarp and mesocarp both are edible, but in papyri and thin endocarp is thrown away along with the seed. So these are about the berries. Now there are some fruit which show variation from the normal berries like pepper. They develop from an inferior ovary which is unilocular or fleshy tricolor having a parental placentration. These seeds remain attached to a placenta. The outer ring is hard as in cooker bits or cucumber. See, this cucumber are a exception from the berries. They are pepper. Now the second one is which are show the variation from the berries. They are Hesperidium. It is developed from a polycarpally cynocarpus superior multilocular ovary with axile placentation. Epicarp form the leathery peeling. Mesocarp is the form of fibers, while the endocarp project inwards, forming distinct chamber from which the juicy ingrowth in the form of hair rise, which form the edible part, like in case of oranges and lemon. Amphicery. It is derived from a polycarpalic cynocarpus multilocular and superior ovary. In this case, epicarp are woody. Okay. The placenta and the inner layer of pericarp become pulpy. Placenta and inner layer become pulp of pericarp become pulpy, and they are considered as a edible part. Okay, like agile mar, for example, agli marpelos. Now, balusta. It is the berry which with an outer hard rind form of epicarp and the part of mesocarp. The inward folding of mesocarp form a chamber. Each chamber is lined by a papillary endocarp which enclose a group of seeds. Now, these seeds are considered as a edible juicy testa or a edible part of the fruit, like in case of pomegranate, they are become the edible part. Now come to the next slide. Aggregate fruits. See, aggregate fruits are made up of polycarpally. Okay. Now they give rise to a number of fruitlets, as there are number of free ovaries. Each give rise to one fruitlet. Sometimes these fruitlets free from one another, and they are form a interior of the fruits. Now the first part of the aggregate fruit is interior of achenes. They are what? They are aggregate of achenes found in a Pyragaria, like rose, strawberries, and achenes are hairy in rose. Many achenes are present on a cup. Now the second one is your interior of a follicle. Interior of a follicle can be seen in a ocontium and catotropsis, Crypostegia, etc. In aconitum, 3 fruitlets from each flower, while 2 fruitlets develop from one flower in calotropis and Cryptotegia and Michaelia. Okay. Now the next one is what? They are interior of Samaras. Interior of Samaras are what? They are studied in a Alanthus, where many winged Samara develop one flower. Now interior of the berries. In arthropods, berries occur in a bunch. In Annona squamosa, custard apple, the berries become very fleshy and being crowded together on a thick thalamus form a complex single fruits. Now interior of the drops. It is aggregated form of small drums of droplets or developing from different carpels of a flower, and they are arranged collectively on a fleshy thalamus like robust. Okay, the last one is your composite fruits. Composite fruits are also called a multiple fruits because they are form a complete inflorescence. Okay, they are divided into two parts. One is sorosis, and sorosis are the type of fruit which are found in mulberry, pineapple, and jackfruit. These fruits are derived from a catkin, spike, and spadix type of inflorescence. Okay, mulberries are derived from a catkin in which the fleshy parentum enclosed by a dry acunes. Now, the second part of the composite fruit are cyconus. Cyconus are derived from a hypothodium type of inflorescence, and it is characterized of ficus in big banyan etc. female flower within the closed receptacle which become fleshy. One of the inflorescences develop into a achenes. It gives rise to a multiple fruit of achenes. So this is all about the classification of the fruit. If you have any doubt related to these, please ask me in a comment box. See, in this lecture, you have to learn about from where these fruit are developed, from which ovary they are developed, from which capillary they are developed. So this is the most important thing and the example of these types of fruit. So there are some questions which are given in the slide. The first question is, which of the following is not a type of fruit based on a classification? A. Simple fruits, B. Compound fruits, C. Aggregate fruits, and D. Multiple fruits. So just type your answer in a comment box. Answer of first one is this. Okay. The second question is, simple fruits are developed from single ovary, multiple ovaries, multiple flower, a group of flower. Aggregate fruits are developed from single ovary, multiple ovaries of single flower, multiple flower, or entire inflorescence. And the fourth one is, multiple fruits are developed from single ovary, multiple ovaries, multiple flowers, or multiple ovaries. So just type your answer in a comment box. Okay, thank you for the watching. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel. And if you have any query, just let me know in the comment box, or there is a helpline number also mentioned in your slide. If you have any query, just send your query in that number. And you can also follow the ITLS Academy on different platform and also get our app from a Google Play. Thank you so much.